सिख धर्म की हर गतिविधि ਅਤੇ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹੁਣੇ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਅਖੰਡ ਬਾਣੀ ਅਤੇ ਨੋਟੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬੈਲ ਨੂੰ ਰਿੰਗ ਕਰੋ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਗੁਰਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਆਸਟ੍ਰੇਲੀਆ ਦੇ ਬ੍ਰਿਸਬੇਨ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੱਗੀ ਐਮਰਜੈਂਸੀ। ਆਖਿਰ ਕੌਣ ਬ੍ਰਿਸਬੇਨ ਦੇ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ 에ਅਰਪੋਰਟ ਨੂੰ ਉਡਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ? ਆਖਿਰ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੇ ਸ਼ੂਟ ਆਊਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਕੀਤਾ 에ਅਰਪੋਰਟ ਤੇ ਢੇਰੀ? ਗੁਰਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਇਹ ਘਟਨਾ ਬੀਤੀ ਰਾਤ ਆਸਟ੍ਰੇਲੀਆ ਟਾਈਮਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ 9 ਵਜੇ ਦੀ ਹੈ, ਜਦੋਂ ਆਸਟ੍ਰੇਲੀਆ ਦੇ ਬ੍ਰਿਸਬੇਨ 에ਅਰਪੋਰਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਅਧਿਕਾਰੀਆਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ਖਸ ਨੂੰ ਗੋਲੀ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਮਾਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਸੂਤਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੰਨੀਏ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਬੰਬ ਬਲਾਸਟ ਦੀ ਘਟਨਾ ਨੂੰ ਅੰਜਾਮ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ 에ਅਰਪੋਰਟ ਤੇ ਇੰਟਰ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ, ਜਿਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਪੂਰੇ ਦੇ ਪੂਰੇ ਬ੍ਰਿਸਬੇਨ ਨੂੰ ਹਾਈ ਅਲਰਟ ਤੇ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਐਮਰਜੈਂਸੀ ਘੋਸ਼ਿਤ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ। ਇੱਥੋਂ ਤੱਕ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਟਰ ਹੋਣ ਵਾਲੀਆਂ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਗੱਡੀਆਂ ਅਤੇ ਟ੍ਰੇਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਰੋਕ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਆਓ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਉੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਕਮਿਸ਼ਨਰ ਈਰਾਨ ਸਟੀਵਟ ਅਤੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਅਧਿਕਾਰੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਐਮਰਜੈਂਸੀ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ।
Just wanted to talk about the incident last night at the Brisbane International Airport. I've received a full briefing from the Commissioner and the Queensland Police Service about this matter, and on all accounts, a very frightening situation for those people at the airport last night. A very confronting situation, one that was very complex, very dynamic, with a lot of changing parts, and of course one that looks like where the offender allegedly was very elaborate in his steps that were involved in last night's incident. The thing we want to reassure the community about is that we have processes and protocols in place to keep our community safe. And I want to commend our police. They did their job last night. They kept our community safe and they apprehended the offender. This is a commendable action. The Queensland Police Service responded in force. They responded appropriately. They ensured that an offender has been arrested and will be brought before the courts. And on all accounts, there were a number of instances where our officers displayed exceptional bravery. The Commissioner will speak in a few moments about some further details, but on all accounts, as you'll see from the image behind me, there were a number of examples of very concerning and frightening behaviours demonstrated by this offender last night. Our police acted, they did their job, they kept the community safe, and they've arrested the offender. Well done to our police. The other thing we want to acknowledge is, of course, the patience of the community. I know that this incident would have caused some disruption for people at the Brisbane airport last night and the connected incident on the Gold Coast. I want to thank members of the community for their patience, but also for cooperating with police. We only get through these matters when we work together, and I really wanted to extend the thanks of our government and the Queensland Police Service to every member of the community, as well as also the staff at the Brisbane International Airport for their cooperation and for assisting police in this matter. Commissioner.
Thank you, Minister. Ian Stewart, Commissioner for the Queensland Police. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning we've taken the extraordinary step of putting this backdrop behind us to show you the sophistication of some of the preparations of the incident that occurred at Brisbane International Airport last night. This is unusual to say the least, but it underscores what the Minister said. First responders, including the Australian Federal Police, security officers at the airport, and ultimately Queensland Police were faced with a dynamic and a very real situation that was initially, in its perception, absolutely life-threatening. I too want to commend our officers and the officers of our partner agencies for the courage that they demonstrated in dealing with this highly, highly volatile situation. Ultimately, a male person is in custody, and it has been shown that there was no danger to any person from any of these devices which have been found to be inert. And of course, these are allegations at this stage because the matter is now before the courts, or will be before the courts. So I just want to go ahead and say how well the system worked. I want to thank our partner agencies, not only the frontline partner agencies, but our partner agencies from the federal government, particularly in the security environment, for the work that was done very rapidly last night to ensure that our entire community was safe. There were there were other component parts of this investigation last night, which included activity on the Gold Coast, and again, not only do I wish to also commend the public at the airport and for their patience and understanding, but also in other places where police had to take action to again follow up on the leads that we had and to make sure that our community is safe. So thank you for your understanding of that. We're happy to take any questions that you might have.
Well, police allege that this was a premeditated stunt, if you will.
Look, I think it goes without saying that whilst I can't specifically comment on the facts of this matter, I think this photo behind us clearly indicates just the extraordinary lengths that a person has gone to create a perception of risk, threat and fear.
Was the offender known to police prior to this incident?
The answer is yes.
Commissioner, it was touched on that it was a domestic related incident. Are you able to expand at all on what was happening at the airport prior to all of this?
So all I can say in that space is that some of the charges preferred now relate to domestic violence, but obviously we are constrained because of the legislation about what we can say in that regard.
As far as the Gold Coast part of it was concerned, there was an apartment block there that was searched by police. What's the link with that apartment block? Is that what was
I'm going to ask Assistant Commissioner Peter Crawford, who's in charge of the entire Brisbane region, to comment on some of these operational matters. Peter?
Thank you, Commissioner. In relation to your question, the words that have been used by the alleged offender in this matter, his behaviour and the statements that he's made caused us to need to look at a number of vehicles and residences to ensure that there were no IEDs, improvised explosive devices, or anything of concern. The Gold Coast addresses and the vehicles that we searched were all relating to information that we had at the time.
Were they places that, was that where he was residing, or was it just somewhere that he had mentioned?
Yeah, no, it's a matter before the court, and those details we can't go into, but certainly our primary responsibility is the safety of the community, and if there was the slightest chance that there was any explosive devices in vehicles or residences, we were going to follow it up last night.
Is the offender now cooperating with police?
Yes, the offender has been interviewed. It's before the court now and has been charged in relation to a number of serious offences, including the most serious, the threat to destroy an aviation facility under the Commonwealth Crimes Act, which carries a period of imprisonment of about 10 years. So they are very serious offences, and the community unfortunately was disrupted last night, but the incident was resolved safely without injury or loss of life. And that was an outstanding outcome attributable to the really good cooperation of the Australian Federal Police, Airport Security and Queensland Police officers.
Being aware that this is now before the courts, is the offender aware of the implications that this had for the community?
Yeah, I can't comment on that.
When is he expected to appear?
So this morning, during the charging process, there was a health issue in relation to the person of interest. That person has been taken to hospital and the charges have actually been laid at a bedside process. So therefore, we'll be a little bit reliant on the medical situation to determine the court circumstances over coming days.
Are there any concerns for his mental health?
Look, that's an issue that I can't comment on, and it'll be a matter that's open to interpretation during the court process.
As far as the public is concerned in this, there's obviously a lot of videos that have surfaced from the airport last night that just show people didn't know what was going on and they were terrified. What do you think about the situation the community was put in there, given you can only imagine what their first thought was?
Yeah, look, I have absolutely no doubt that was a terrifying experience for members of the public that saw that. The behaviours, the alleged behaviours of the person of interest, what he was saying, what he was doing, was certainly terrifying. The ability to contain that to the food court area within the airport and to be able to move people away safely was conducted very well. But as you would appreciate, in really dynamic circumstances like that, the priority is to move people away, to contain where the offender currently is. And that was done exceptionally well by all of the responding agencies.
You commended
the response from the airport staff. Is there any review that needs to happen in the protocols at the airport in working with police in these kinds of situations?
Yeah, look, we will always debrief these incidents. So there'll be an internal Queensland Police debrief and then a debrief with the airport and our partner agencies, and we'll always look for opportunities to do better into the future. But overall, with the nature of the offence, as you would have seen in the video that's been available, that was very dynamic, very challenging, had the potential to have a very bad outcome. And I believe the work by the security agencies, including the Australian Federal Police and Airport, was exceptional in bringing it to the conclusion that they did as quickly as they did.
My understanding was that there were non-lethal rounds used to subdue this man. Can you explain why that decision was made as opposed to, I guess, lethal rounds being used?
Yeah, the Commissioner raised the issue earlier that the police and partners involved in this, there's some very brave action on the part of those officers. The operational tactical decision to use a non-lethal round was made at the time, and it was suitable to ensure that the person of interest didn't leave the area we wanted them to stay in. So that's probably all I'd say about that, but I will say that the police officers who were dealing with that in close proximity showed a great deal of bravery, and the outcome to have no loss of life here is a good outcome.
Could I also mention, and it touches on this issue, we had an officer who could speak the gentleman's primary language at the airport within minutes after we became aware that this situation was unfolding. And again, I think it underscores the need for the diversity of our organisation, mirroring the community that we serve every day. And that was a very, very positive outcome for us, and I think had a major impact on the swiftness with which the matter could be resolved. Certainly that plus the very well considered operation at the time in the use of weaponry that we also have regularly out in our community was very, very important in resolving this thing peacefully.
What was that language?
It was Arabic. Yep. Okay, unless there's anything else, thank you very, very much.
ਗੁਰਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਅਤਵਾਦਿਕ ਘਟਨਾਵਾਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਜਾਂ ਭਾਰਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਵਿਦੇਸ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਅਜਿਹੀਆਂ ਘਟਨਾਵਾਂ ਸਮੇਂ-ਸਮੇਂ ਤੇ ਦੇਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਬ੍ਰਿਸਬੇਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਕੁਝ ਅਜਿਹਾ ਹੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਪਰ ਜੇਕਰ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਰਕਾਰਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਅਤੇ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਸਨ ਸਤਰਕ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਅਜਿਹੀਆਂ ਘਟਨਾਵਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਨੇਪਰੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾੜ ਪਾਵੇਗਾ ਅੰਜਾਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇ ਪਾਵੇਗਾ ਪਰ ਸ਼ਰਤ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਅਤੇ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਸਨ ਤਨਦੇਹੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਅਤੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਵਾਸੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ जुटिया होवे। तुसीं सब इस मसले उत्ते की सोचते हो अपने विचार नीचे कमेंट्स दे विच जरूर देना। वीडियो चंगी लगी होवे लाइक ते शेयर भी जरूर करना। वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह। सिख धर्म दी हर गतिविधि अते गुरबाणी वास्ते हुणे सबसक्राइब करो गुरबाणी अखंड बाणी अते नोटिफिकेशंस वास्ते बैल नूं रिंग करो।